And with a plan in place, as you spend the next evening huddled over dossiers and maps, and as the candles burn low, the next day, we shall roll an engagement. So, with one die for luck, is this plan overly bold or daring?
It's pretty bold, actually, what we've got worked out.
Does this plan exploit a vulnerability or hit your target where they're weakest?
Where?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Can any of your friends or allies provide assistance?
Celia already did.
I'm going to say that because you used it before to gather information, you can't use it on the engagement roll now.
Okay.
But anyone else? Who's?
We have a...
I don't think I can use a city clerk friend.
Actually, that might... She might be able to... she might be able to put in more paperwork to make Lottie look more legitimate as a dealer.
Oh, I love this. Yes.
Okay, and are there any other factors you would like to consider? You have your +1. Puts you up to 5. Then I'm going to say down to 4 because the billhooks are involved at the side and they are a higher tier. But that gives you 4 die. And that'll be a 5. So where are you beginning?
I feel like we should probably start with Lottie here. Just because of the way we have things set up.
Absolutely.
And I will be doing light load.
Light load, great stuff. Lottie, what load are you taking?
As well.
Light.
Yes.
Okay, Gabriel, light, and Hestia.
Light for me as well.
All going light, okay. So, Lottie, where are you starting?
How are we getting in? Do we kidnap one of the dealer and I replace him, or do I get hired properly?
I was gonna say get hired properly, so I guess we would start with a flashback of her using fine cover identity to get hired on.
Okay, so what's your plan here? You're looking to get hired as...
Dealer. Card dealer.
Oh, okay, so you, sorry, as a dealer, yeah, as at the Silver Stag. Okay, so as you approach the back of the Silver Stag Casino, which itself is in the very north of the district, near the in its own, essentially its own little block of the unit between the Bridge of Wine and the Bridge of Candles, overlooks the boardwalk in front of it, and from there out into Northhook Channel, where the lightning barrier crackles, and you can see the lightning barrier high in the sky, crackling against the darkness. You make your way around to the back of the building, and where the staff entrance is, yourself in a rather plain white shirt, but with a little... your usual necklace has been replaced, much to your chagrin, with a stag motif in the top button. And where are you going once you're inside? You go in, and it's very much these very, very functional corridors, old faded walls. The public doesn't generally see and hear.
Going to the... Am I already hired, or do I have
Yes,
to
yes.
roll?
So I'd say spend 1 stress on the flashback, and yes, there was a last minute need for additional floor croupiers and dealers and the like.
I think I'll mark all of the entrance and exit routes, just in case.
Okay, absolutely. It's quite a labyrinthian structure in the especially once you go beyond the public view. It is when you're inside as well. The whole place is designed to keep you in within the casino walls. But backstage, back of house, there's multiple entrances and exits. Some lead to depots for evidently catering. But yeah, there's multiple entrance and exits. And from there, where are you? You going to the main floor?
Yes.
And as you emerge, you are greeted by a pit boss, a heavy-set man in a slightly too tight-fitting suit, who walks you towards one of the many tables, and essentially as he goes, he checks off what you can host for. And he's there, so he gives you the list. He's blackjack, baccarat, roulette. You know how they work.
Blackjack's fine. Whatever you need, really.
Oh, well, start you on blackjack. House, it gives you the house stays on 16, and security is paid out 1 to 5. Security is paid out 1 to half. He hands you a deck of cards and he's sort of quietly in your ear whispers, "Do you know how to stack?"
Sure. Obviously.
Glad to hear it. Just, don't make it obvious, but make sure the house takes its cut. And puts the deck in front of you. I'll be over there. Any problems? Anyone gets a bit leery? Anyone gets abusive? You give me a shout.
16 and what the other part about
Insurance. So if you play an ace, then patrons can buy insurance against you getting a blackjack. And it means they pay half of their bet if you do. So they have to put down half of their initial bet. It's an insurance. Yeah. Meanwhile, Gabriel, Hestia, what are you up to?
Gabriel's just gonna go through the front door as if he was just a normal patron.
Yeah, same. I do have a question though.
Absolutely.
This is not the only casino
It's
in Duskvol.
not at all. No, this is just the most famed casino.
Okay, so I'm not. This may or may not be my first time coming here.
Of course. As you go in, there are two showgirls essentially waiting by the door who kind of greet you with these very, very big, but ultimately you can see behind it false smiles. And as they do this whole welcome to the Silver Stag, where dreams are made. Looking around, you see that the floor is very much alive at the buzz, and Gabriel, especially known to you, is totally remember the name, is Helene, who is a a Severosi woman who is a very, very well-fitted gown on, showing several tattoos that adorn her shoulders and upper back. And very, very much bejeweled, but tastefully, preferring silver over the usual garish nature of Gabriel.
I don't know what you're talking about. Gabriel is very, very put together. He's busted out that suit in that trunk again. So as stated, that suit was probably in fashion within the last year in the Imperial City. But it's not necessarily what you would classify as contemporary anymore.
Absolutely, and a lot of the people here as well, you see that glancing around, you'd know these people by reputation, if unlikely in person. There are various diplomats, figures of authority, so it's very much an intercultural melting pot on the floor here.
I'm realistically only looking for one face, though, and that's the madam's. You see her over by one of the many bars that's circular central part, where you see her glancing over towards some of the tables behind her, and it's as she turns to look at one of these tables, you get a clear line of sight on her. I make sure to give Hestia a sort of gesture of some sort, not something conspicuous, but, you know, just gesturing to make sure that she sees her as well. And
along with that, you do see that the usual blue and white stripes shirts has gone, but she is decidedly with another guest who has attempted to look smart for the evening, but the scar that runs through his lip and the suspicion that lingers in his eyes, you can evidently spot a billhook sat next to her, who's downing drinks quicker than the barman can serve them.
I kind of lean over to Hestia, and she's already got her friends here. That's wonderful.
Yeah. I wonder if he likes to dance. Or do you want to pull him away?
I don't particularly have... As stated, I don't know how well my name's gotten through this particular faction of the Billhooks. It might be prudent for me to just stay away from him.
Alright, we'll see what we can do. I'm going to order a drink.
There's those same showgirl type servers that make their way around the floor, and it's not long before you're able to get the attention of one. Order a drink. And she sort of gives this gracious smile and a nod, and returns a few moments later with a very well presented tall glass.
I hold it up for Gabriel and I say, we'll see whose pants this falls on. Because I'm certainly not drinking it. And I will begin to saunter over to... I'm so sorry, are they sitting at...
The bar.
They're sitting at a bar. It's like this, it's like this sort of 360-degree central bar in the middle.
Oh, I love that.
I will say what else, especially as you make your line of sight, as Lottie, as your table goes quiet for a few moments, and Gabriel, you take in the surroundings, You see the actual building itself. Obviously, the main floor is made up of multiple pits with the various games going on them. The green base tables set up, and most of them fairly full. The ceiling has multiple chandeliers on it, all made out of intertwined stag antlers. Hence the name. This place very much has a theme, and around the sides there's a lot of heavy velvet drapes and columns, which to an architect you'd see that they're not load bearing, but they are there purely for decorative flair.
Well, noticing that Lottie's table has somewhat died down a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and make my way over there. No conversation's going to be had between me and Lottie. It is just going to be Gabriel playing games. Gabriel is not playing to win, but he's also not playing to lose. He's basically doing his very best to just maintain.
Absolutely. And yeah, there's this back and forth between you. And is there anything that you would like to do at this point?
I'm trying to more or less make myself part of the crowd. Now, I would okay.
I would say if you want to make a roll here, but of course, as you're in this scene as well, and Lottie, you can of course assist.
No, it's not. It wouldn't really be a roll, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I would assume there's an agreement between me and Lottie at some point. I would need to be dealt a really good hand. So basically, I can start saying that this table's on fire and start getting attention, hopefully drawing her over to this table.
Oh, absolutely.
If you want to say that would call for a flashback, one stress for something that minor, I would say.
I'm going to say that doesn't need a flashback. That's all part of the plan.
Fair.
So this has already been decided. There is, while you take a seat and you're dealt the first couple of hands, making your way through the crowd and very, very careful with your drink, Hestia, avoiding crowds of what looks to be Aruvian silks that are probably a year's salary for most people. You make yourself within very close range of both Trogan and her billhook companion. If they were talking, you'd be able to overhear what they were saying, but they both sort of sit there in somewhat uncomfortable silence.
Oh my gosh, that sounds awful. I am going, okay, is Gabriel's big weddings, are those like, is there like an exclamation of like, yippee? Does like Gabriel say yippee at some point?
Not yippee, but yes, he makes it very, very known that he's won pretty large. Obviously, the next few hands he's going to play, he's deliberately going to lose the money back because he's not actually here to play the table. He doesn't want to overly draw the attention of like the pit boss, etc. So it's going to be this massive win, and then he's just going to start losing it back to the table.
There is a cry, and you notice as well there is it's enough to make Helene herself also turn and look over. You see from your point between them as well, looking over towards the table as well, you see the pit boss that greeted Lottie on the way in. He sort of shrugs and goes, it's nothing, and she nods and returns to her conversation. But yeah, a lot of the you see several of the patrons look at that table going, oh, is it a lucky one?
I'm going to turn. I'm not going to talk to them, but I am going to speak in their general direction and say something like, "Oh, that looks like a new dealer. I bet they're an easy mark or inexperienced or casino jargon."
Absolutely. I'm going to say on that, you will need to make a roll, but you can do it at +1 because you have been set up by the other two.
All right, fantastic. That sounds like a sway.
I think so, yeah.
All right, risky standard.
Risky standard, yes.
All right, I'm gonna start trading on sway. This is 1 die.
Would you like to push yourself for another?
Yeah, I'll push myself. Less.
Oh, success. Success with a complication. It's Trogan who gets up and looks towards the table. You see the bellhook look towards the table, back to you, and back towards the table. There's a degree of suspicion there. Before he makes his way over as well. And the two of them take a seat at the blackjack table. One, they leave a space, an empty seat between you, Gabriel. So you're player number 1, and they are players number 3 and 4.
3 and 4. Got it. So nobody's at 2, or just random?
Not yet. Not yet. It's not long before somebody joins in at table 5, who sits down, and as he does, kind of spills half of his drink over the green baize mat. Is if Nigor, you shelter this table is lucky, I believe. Let's see if I get it on that. Absolutely off his face drunk.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's what's going through my head. Wonderful. All right, then. We've got everybody at this table. Waiting to see if Hestia does anything, obviously.
So that complication, was that a tick of the billhook clock?
It was, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna let that lie. I will eventually come over. I want to seem aloof to the billhook who made me.
Absolutely, yeah.
How well off is the man who is drunk?
He has put a sizable stack on the table of chips. However, whether that's drunken stupidity, or he's good for it, there's no real way of telling. But his clothes look to be tailor-made, at least. But a lot of people come here and flaunt wealth that they don't actually have.
Right. I wouldn't know anything of that. Okay, I will. I'm going to stand in the orbit of that table and that fine dressed man. For now.
Lottie. What are you doing?
I'm gonna. I don't know if it's possible, but make sure she wins a couple of rounds so she gets a little stack, and then just make her slowly losing and losing and losing more and more.
I'm going to say that's going to be a check.
And at this
Probably-
point, what's the roll?
It's probably finesse or prowl could even do it.
This is fine.
Can I assist?
Absolutely, yes.
1 or 2 stress?
One stress for an assist and +1 to Lottie's roll.
All right.
And it ends well.
Oh, success of the complication. You play the first couple of hands, and then, which she does fairly well on. It's the third hand that she loses, and then starts playing smaller and smaller bets as she begins to just steadily lose money. But you see from the stack of trips in front of her, it's not really making a huge impact, but you're doing something. I'm going to start a clock for her, and you're aware that the billhook with her is now watching your shuffle. As a sort of natty as he narrows his eyes.
Okay, is he drinking?
He's stopped now. He's at the table,
Okay.
but he's had a few. He's got that kind of occasionally. He just kind of like furrows his brow, does that thing where you blink. Oh, in the eyes.
Unfortunately, if he stopped drinking, there goes my idea.
I have a question for later, mayhaps. Is it possible for us to take from playbooks who aren't with us at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've done that before, so yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're after. I've got an idea at least. What did you want to use?
Well, I want to get that billhook out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so I'm walking a tightrope between dealing with the billhook and then also pickety pocketing the Mr. Drunk. I want to do both of them, but I am at a loss as how to. I don't want to step on your toes, Gabriel. And so
No, like Gabriel is very intently watching the bill hook, and I would say you could almost see the wheels turn, and Gabriel's like, we need to get this guy out of this table, like.
The seat next to him is currently available.
Seat 2.
okay.
Seat 2, yeah.
Between me and
Alright.
him.
I am going to order another drink, and have it sent to the table. I guess we don't pay for drinks in a casino, do we?
Not if you're at the table.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, I bring over myself, and I order I order a round of the finest for those of us at the table, and sit down.
I would say on that one, make me a fortune roll.
I would love to make a fortune roll. Can I spend a coin and up my odds?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it at +1.
Oh boy.
There's not really any negative consequences for this. It's just to see if something specific happens.
And it does.
It certainly does. Yes. There is the server in the sort of Shogo headdress makes her way back towards the bar, changes some notes, and you see the barman sort of. Okay. And as she takes the bottle and it's kind of placed in a very, very nice wooden cask holder, and it's Helene herself who takes it and begins to walk towards the table. And she sets it down along with 5 glasses and looks across the table. The bellhook kind of grunts in with the amount of the appropriate amount of apathy, where she looks at the rest of you and the drunk at the end, and then back to the 3 of you, of Drogon and the 2 of you. Okay. I don't believe we've had the pleasure. As she begins to pour out drinks, it's.
Hold on, name generator.
In certain circles, I'm just known as the Dawn, Gabriel kind of says. He kind of makes a hand gesture, like he obviously isn't trying to be rude and acknowledge her, but he's also trying to make it very clear that he is very much focused on the game.
Yeah. She smiles. There's a flicker of recognition, likely a name she's heard in conversations before.
I hold out a hand and say, Isaac, nice to meet you. I am enjoying your establishment.
I'm so glad to hear it. As she takes your hand for a moment and replaces her hand with a drink shortly after, and pours herself a drink at the end.
Oh, I cheers to that.
And as Madame Trogan looks up, and she too takes a moment and Cordelia Rose.
Everyone's drinking, right?
Yes, the bill hook's on his second glass now. He's
Of the fine stuff?
Of the fine stuff. Yeah, he threw it back. It's
okay, good.
Yeah.
I was like, don't make me be my mother and start pushing drinks on people.
So I'm gonna fill in 2 pieces of a clock for Bill Hook drunk. I'm gonna say, Lottie, at this point, what are you going for? Are you still chipping away at her supply?
What are you doing? I'm hesitating to do that or make the bell hook leave as fast as possible, so I just take only half in quickly as possible.
Okay, so how do you want to make? How are you looking to make him leave?
Sorry. Can you? I don't know anything about blackjack.
Can I offer a suggestion?
Yes.
Or at least
Yes.
insert myself into this situation? I know that Brolin has a set of trick cards. Is there a way that I could set up Lottie into revealing that this man too is a fraud by slipping these trick cards into his pocket and then her calling him on it?
Oh, I'm going to say absolutely, but that's going to be a check.
Oh, I would love nothing
And
more. Okay.
I'm gonna assist.
I will assist as well.
+2. Both of you take 1 stress, Gabriel.
And I'm out. Well, actually, no, I have one more technically because I had 2 free. I have to go over, right?
No, it's when you fill the last one.
Okay.
You're done.
I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, we will come to that.
Yeah, of course.
As to how that happens narratively.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So is this finesse or prowl?
You tell me.
I think this is finesse.
Okay.
Yeah, I am reverse pickpocketing. As an infiltrator, I do want to mention that I am not affected by quality or tier when I bypass security measures. I'm very good. So I am going to do this thing very well. All right. Is this risky standard?
As you're using infiltrator, it's risky standard. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna pump one of those up. I'm gonna use one to get me to risky great.
You can only push yourself to increase the effect. The assistance is just +1 on the die.
All right,
So you can push it. You can push yourself as well and make the greater effects.
Oh, I'll take the.
Okay.
Oh,
So, success with a complication, but it's as you do it and you place the cards. We will go to Gabriel. This is basically going to be your sign-off. So.
Yeah, basically at this point, Gabriel's basically flush. He's back to just not having made any money, nothing like that. And that's at this point when he kind of gets the nod from Hestia, so to speak. I am going to do the most outlandish thing I can do to draw the billhook's attention to make sure he doesn't recognize her, and it's probably gonna get me thrown out and probably beaten down at the end of the day.
Not on a fight with greater effects. It's
So one of those things, I'm not exactly sure what the best course of action here is, but I'm making sure that she gets what she needs done, and I'm being forced to leave.
right. Okay. And it's as you look at the billhook looks over to you. There's that slip into the pockets, and he goes, "The Don. Knew I know that name. You tangoed with Erin, didn't you? I remember your name, boy." He stands up, knocks the chair over, and swings at you. with a waffle iron hand, which Hestia's sort of from her current position is able to duck under, and it would be a level 1 harm of bruised jaw. But if you would like to, if you would like to take armor, of course, you cannot resist at this point.
I can take armor. So that's the first dot of armor.
You take the first 2 dots. On the
Okay,
first
yep.
hit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and it's he only manages to land the first swing, which essentially you're able to step back and not, and you feel it whistle in front of your nose as a very large pit boss just sacks him to the ground.
Gabriel's kind of doing his usual, like, hands up.
It's with eyes on the scene. Of you see Helene stand back, fold her arms, and go, "Yes, the dawn. I remember."
I give a small smirk.
I think it's best if you leave.
And I suppose you're gonna make me.
No. But they will. And she nods towards several other pit bosses, security guards.
I kind of give a final look to Hestia and Lottie with the look of kind of like, it's on you guys now.
And as you make your way out, sort of after that kind of like stomach slightly in your mouth, Hestia and Lottie, you were aware of the bill hook being taken away by 2 security guards. Literally, one of them's got his hands, the other one's got his feet. And it looks like he's probably going to be thrown into a back alley that you went in by Lottie. What are you doing? Trogan's now on her own.
I'm gonna switch seats and take his place so that I'm between Madame Trogan and the drunk guy. And claim that, like, oh, I think there's blood on that seat now, or
As they sort of get towards the side of the thing, the side of the casino floor, you're aware of another shout of, and Helene looks over as you see the pit boss who is following them stand up, and he goes, he was loading, and it's Helene who goes over, has a quick word, and they change direction. You know from where they're going now and what you've seen, Lottie. They're going downstairs towards the basements.
Wouldn't like to be that guy. Well, since we are now between civilized people, do we mind continuing?
oh yes, yes, please. I don't believe we've met. And I hold my hand out to the drunk, and I say, Isaac Waters. Sure.
He doffs an imaginary hat and goes, "Garner Kinclaith, the pleasure's all mine. Let's after that whole affair, let's play. There's more luck to share out."
I'm sorry, did he just rhyme?
If he did, it was completely unintentional, I assure you.
I like him.
Bitter,
Okay, I saddle up next to him, and try to make small talk between the three of us, and hint. I make ever so hint at ordering another round of the good stuff.
It's a bottle this time is provided for you, and by Helene once again, as an apology for the interruptions and disturbance.
I love this. All right. Is there anything? Okay, so Madame Trogan is well on her way down.
She's down. Yeah, she looks. She's now hands, chin resting on her hands, as she's trying to get things back, knowing that she should walk away, but unable to. Needs to recover.
And how is Mr. Rhyme doing?
He's just putting. To be honest, he's got a fairly healthy stack of chips, which it rises and falls. He was playing very much like Gabriel was, but he's not attempting to do it. He's just playing the game.
Can I get a read on him? Is that possible?
In terms of,
like, I guess my mark sense are tingling. Is there a way to sort of like?
I'm going to say maybe a check from control position, greater effect, and pretty much no consequences with this one. But it's something to give him a look over. See if there's any tells.
Is this a skill roll or a?
It's probably something like survey or study or something of that ilk.
Okay, I'm gonna do study if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you do notice there is a pin in his lapel, holds his pocket square in place, and depicts a fairly familiar sigil, which denotes one of the members of the Ministry of Preservation, those that are responsible for the upkeep and the running of the rails, the stock and trade of Leviathan blood, part of the working order of Duskvol.
Wait, okay, so is the Ministry of Preservation someone who would pay my government wages of being a mail
No,
carrier?
you're more likely, because it's more local. Ministry of Preservation is for Akaros, so it deals with the Empire at large as well.
Oh wow. Okay. And now, is that itself worth money, or is that just an indicator that he's worth money?
Likely, with the way he's dressed, like the Leviathan hunters are technically connected, as are labourers, so on and so forth. So, but with the way he's dressed, he's certainly not one of them. So yeah, he's likely a fairly key figure within the industry, within the ministry, if not. He's not one of the top echelons who are publicly known. That's like Dunville and great family names like that.
Okay.
Dalmor, Slane, and Captain Lanark are the three big players within the ministry. So he's likely kind of like second level tier. Meanwhile, we are going to have Madame Trogan is going to go all or nothing. She's going all in. Lottie, what do you want to do?
House always win. Yeah, I'm gonna stack the card.
Absolutely.
To make sure.
So yeah, if you wanna make me a check.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could let her win this time and then push her to risk even more. But that might not work. So I'm just going to make her lose this time and do my best. So it's finesse, finesse, up here. Perhaps. Okay.
Would you like to resist, or would you like to take armor or anything?
I'm going to resist.
Okay, make me a prowess, left-hand column. How much stress do you have left?
A lot.
Oh, you're good, okay.
2, 3, 4, 7.
Oh, okay, great. So, yes, you should be absolutely fine.
So, prowess.
Yes.
Straight prowess, or do I choose one?
So it's left. So you do everything in the left-hand column of prowess. So however many dots you have there, which is, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you're rolling 2 die. So you take 1 stress. So you do highest result -6. Oh, 6 minus highest result. So you take 1 stress, and you see, as you play the cards, you see that she distinctly notices that you stacked that. And you see her, she locks eyes with you for a moment, looks at the table where it's gone, and then turns, sort of skirts billowing behind her. And as she leaves, you see her leaves the pit. She looks back at you and her eyes maintain contact once again, and she just goes, and leaves. And I would like you to add to your sheet Madame Trogan as an enemy, please.
Yes.
Meanwhile, while you've managed to strip her of all her money, that technically belongs to the casino. If you would like to make any last final play, maybe to get some of it as yours.
Sorry.
So while you've been standing there as a blackjack dealer,
Yeah.
You are making a lot. You've made good money for the casino. Would either Hestia or Lottie, would you like to make a final play to maybe make that casino money yours?
Yes. Could we do a group action about this?
You certainly can. So you both roll the same, and you decide who's leading, and whoever's leading takes 1 stress for every failed roll.
Yes. Lottie, would you like to lead, or shall I?
The same. It would be finesse. We have the same amount.
So you both roll. You just decide who's leading.
I just had the worst roll. I don't think I should do it.
Oh no! You both roll, and then you take the highest result, and you both share that roll. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just who you decide who's leading. That's the main thing.
Okay, I shall lead.
Okay.
Okay.
So you both roll finesse.
And I'm gonna push myself, just in case.
Absolutely. So you do +1. You got the crit, and so we will say that as Lottie, having been taught to expertly palm, you do take 1 stress. but it's all...
Lottie goes from a reverse crit to a crit and then has the reverse crits.
Okay, but that I forgot to add my 1 die.
I mean, I'd say roll it because it might mean that you don't take any stress if you get a. So roll just another one. No, you still take 1 stress. But having been taught how to palm, you have done incredibly well. And in fact, the coffers of the casino are not going to even miss this. But you, as a crew, have managed to get 4 coin. And it's as you leave and
Hestia... Can I pickpocket real fast? Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, if you want to pickpocket, go for it.
I do. One last hurrah.
Okay, yeah, again, not too worried about the consequences on this one because he is so drunk that it's just basically you're doing has he even got anything in his pockets.
Okay, I'm going to push myself for greatness.
You find there's a matchbook, some lint, what looks to be the address of a disreputable Silkshore hotel. There is not, and unfortunately very little. But as you leave the casino, like I say, with coin in pockets, you're able to walk up to one of the cashiers with decidedly more coin than you chips than you walked in with, and you cash out. It's at the end of the evening. We're continuing the ruse, and you make your departure, Lottie. That outside, you leave through one of the side doors as well through as your somewhat pseudo shift ends, that you see Helene one final time, and on that crit, she says, she stands out there, sort of away from the public eye while she smokes a cigarette, blowing the smoke up into the air. She looks at you and recognizes you and says,
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Wyverian and Livespark. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, remember the first rule of a con. Offer them everything for nothing, and give them nothing for everything.